Hyper, you're pretty and I like ya. Move your flag around all night long. Hyper, you're pretty and I like ya. So let me be your cool all night long. That's a magic on the floor, anytime you with the ball. Your body moves and the time's high. You on my back, you're everything I want. Wanna get myself on a thing you want. Wanna lose time, let me see you sing it loud. Let it get me, so on the side of you get. Yeah, you like me, I wanna know that it's true. You're basic for me, and I'm something for you. Hyper, you're pretty and I like ya. Move your flag around all night long. Hyper, you're pretty and I like ya. So let me be your cool all night long. And I can't look away, I'm addicted to your smile. That's your big bitch, never stop me. You on my back, you make my dreams come true. I would give my life for a bleeding you. Wanna lose time, let me see you sing it loud. Let it get me, so on the side of you get. Yeah, you like me, I wanna know that it's true. You're basic for me, and I'm something for you. You're alone at the gala, feeling turn the light. You're alone at the gala, feeling turn off. You're alone at the gala, feeling to the right, to the right, to the right, Wanna rip off your dress now, feeling to the right, to the right, to the right. You're alone at the gala, feeling turn the light. Wanna rip off your dress now, feeling turn the light. Truck by truck, getting closer to you. Truck by truck, getting closer to you. Prance, Philly, prance. I wanna prance. You're gonna hit so hard, I'ma break down the floor. Wanna prance. Can you see my blood? Different mood. Hyper, you're pretty and I like ya. Move your flag around all night long. Hyper, you're pretty and I like ya. So let me be your coat all night long.
Alright, enough of that shit. Hello. Hello. How have you been? I have missed you. Sorry I wasn't here yesterday. Whatever. Well, I didn't really have enough time to stream yesterday, so, yeah. Okay, last stream, and then I'll be gone for a week. It's, yeah, it's basically it. Just 1 week. Alright, let's begin. Man, it's so much. I totally forgot what we were doing. We were investigating. We're Edgeworth! Right, we were talking with Larry. Or... No, his name is Larry. Listen to me, Edgy. You gotta do this. You gotta save Iris! Why are you so sure she's innocent? Because she's cute? Watch your mouth! Anyway, I made up my mind about it. I'm gonna marry that girl. Well then. Mr. Edgeworth is pretending he didn't hear you, so I'm gonna ask for him. Have you already asked this girl to marry you? No, not yet, but I can tell how she feels by the look in her eyes. She got this I really want this man to carry me over the threshold look. I'm sure Nick will be surprised. He never imagined that I can marry such a beautiful girl like that. Let me export the last one real quick. Yeah, by the way, I heard the Gummy Bear album is out today, so, I still haven't picked up my copy. I don't plan on getting one. He never imagined that I could marry such a beautiful girl like that! Something tells me he would be shocked indeed. That's why I didn't want her to do anything dangerous. Alright, sorry. I mean, what am I gonna do if she gets hurt? What is this guy trying to say? He lost me about a mile back. If we really want to know the answer to that, we're gonna have to drag him onto the witness stand. Not a crime. Come to think of it, you still haven't answered my question. Where were you and what were you doing last night? Aw, man. Don't you have anything else to talk about? With that kind of attitude, you'll never be a ladies' man like me. Bro. Okay, just chill out with those scary eyes. I got it. If you really want to know, last night, I saw something incredible. Something incredible? I was gonna say it, but okay. I was gonna say it. I knew that Cyclops were gonna appear around him. Well, I just knew. Yeah, but let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about the good old days. What do you say? Come on, I'll pour you a nice cup of hot water. Why hasn't he realized that I absolutely despise talking about the good old days? Especially with him. Right. Do we have enough evidence? We could go back. I just need a refresher, okay? Just to make sure. Right. No type of gumshoe here. Okay, so I guess Larry is the only one left. So, go ahead and save. And, alright, let's get this over with. The night of the crime. Alright, now you're going to tell me what you really saw last night. Oh, whoa, you're really upset, aren't you, Edgy? Okay, I'll talk. Huh? That was a bit too easy. Yeah, anyway, it was awesome. Never seen anything like it. At around 10 o'clock last night, it started thundering. I've been sleeping, well, I'm not sure for how long. Suddenly, zing! The one in front of me went white! Like, I just been slapped in the face by my old girlfriend, Naomi. Who the hell is Naomi? This is... How many girlfriends has he had at this point? And then, it was on fire! The bridge was on fire! Dusky Bridge caught on fire? Are you saying you saw it with your own eyes? Hey, why are you giving me the evil eye? I'm telling the truth! There's still 3 Psycho Locks remaining. That means he's still trying to hide something. By the way, Larry, where were you when you saw that happen? Where you say? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? Just answer the question. I was in my own room, on the main hall. Where else would I be? As usual, you're as transparent as an empty jelly jar. Bro. The problem, I suspect, lies there. Let me get all these ready. There? What do you mean, there? It's impossible for you to have seen the lightning strike Dusky Bridge from your room. Oh, hold on, give me a second. Yeah, that was a good temple. No, he couldn't have seen it. No, just look. This is a map of the area. Take a look around the vicinity of Hazakura Temple. What am I looking for? I think that should be fairly obvious. The main hall is surrounded by trees, and it's impossible to see the bridge from here. What? Why didn't you tell me that before? So that's how you react? Well, how about it? How about what? Do you feel like talking now? About what? It looks like it won't be that easy after all. You leave me no choice. I'll have to move on to the next step. You weren't in your room at the temple, so then, where were you? You don't know that I wasn't in my room? So where was Larry, and why was he there? If I've read the situation up to this point correctly, the answer is fairly obvious. Very well then, let's test my theory. The place you witnessed lightning strike from Dusky Bridge is... Oh, I think it would have to be Heavenly Hall. It's the only place I can think of. Place you saw the lightning strike from was naturally Heavenly Hall. Why would I be hanging out in this old shack? It's freezing cold. There's no electricity. It could fall apart any minute. Larry, how do you know that anyway? How do you know there's no electricity? After all, it's not that dark yet. Oh. Uh-oh. In other words, you have just provided evidence to prove my theory. My theory that you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. And, I gotta hydrate now. Hello. Should I just call you Tone? That's what I call you in reality. If that's fine with you. Alright, my theory that you visited once in your life, you've at least once in your life visited Heavenly Hall after sunset. I have to admit, I'm impressed, Edgy. You're in a totally different league from Nick. Well, that's nice. Now, tell me, what were you doing at this cold little shack last night? That's what you might call a fair decor. I think you mean a fair decor. Could it be you were waiting for someone? Oh no! You really are one scary guy, you know. I believe that last night you were waiting for this person to come meet you. That would be Iris. There's only one person you wait for in a horrible place like this, Larry. I told you before, don't call me Larry. The person you were waiting for was Iris. Oh, suddenly I feel cold all over, Reggie. No doubt because of my chilly glare. So you think I got the hots for Sister Iris, huh? Do you have some kind of evidence? You got something that proves I was waiting for her? Or are you just guessing? This is where I draw the line and end this ridiculous little game. Here's the evidence that proves you were waiting for Iris. This is the only thing I can think of. Yep. Here's your evidence. You called her to the spot with a pathetic blackmail letter. Oh, hey, give that back! You're embarrassing me! What are you doing with that anyway? Well, that's not important. I misjudged you, Larry. Oh, what do you mean? Taking advantage of a woman's frailty like that. Frailty, sorry. You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh. Oh. First of all, what's this at the top of the letter? It says salutation here. Well, that's what it said in that book. Letter writing for dummies. Why? You're not supposed to actually write that. That's what you're supposed to write, dear Iris. Ah! I'm sorry. Oh my god, he is an idiot. So you were here in Heavenly Hall last night, weren't you, Larry? And you saw the lightning hit Dusky Bridge, didn't you? Sorry, Edgy. Sorry as a cut, you scumbag. Threatening a young lady like that. Wait, hold up. What now, pal? What are you talking about? What threatening stuff? I'll tell you what. You're trying to scare Iris by threatening to expose her secret, pal. What do you mean threaten? When did I threaten her? Unless you want your secret to be exposed. That sure sounds like a threat to me, pal. Blackmail, in fact. Give me a break. It's a love letter. Have you ever been in love? What did you just say? My love for her burned so hotly it can melt all the snow on this mountain. Oh? Then what is the secret you mentioned? Come on, Edgy. Don't you get it? Talking about the secret love between her and me. He is dumb. Obviously, she wouldn't want Old Lady Bikini to know about it, right? About her hot and sour, bittersweet love affair. Alright, then why did you send a love letter in a business-like manila envelope? I hope I said that right. Give me a break. It's not my fault I didn't have any other envelopes. Yeesh. Then why were you so quick to apologize, pal? It's because Edgy gave me that scary look of his. Well then. So what's wrong, Edgy? Why are you so quiet all of a sudden? That's it. That's what all those huge locks were about? I don't understand why you're so defensive. Well, I don't know either. Uh, I guess the thing is, hey, you shouldn't expect too much from a guy like me. Hey, come on, don't let it get you down. Oh. Mr. Edgeworth! This guy's still hiding something. I know it. What do you mean, detective? Don't forget what this guy said just a minute ago. You know what I know last night? Saw something incredible. He's right. Larry. What? You're looking at me like a hungry dog that just found a bone. What was this something incredible you saw last night? You're gonna tell me, Larry, one way or another. Something incredible. I already told you, didn't I? Saw lightning strike Dusky Bridge. Yes, and I believe it was the incredible sight you saw. But now that I think about it, something doesn't quite ring true. Well, what doesn't? If that's all there is to your story, your hut wouldn't have had all those locks. Therefore, Larry, I do believe you saw something last night. Something more incredible than lightning. What? When? Where? Why? How? Who? Hey! What do you think you're doing? If you hide anything from Mr. Edgeworth, I'll arrest you on the spot, pal. Ah! Oh boy. And more Cyclops. And oh geez, and now there's 5! Oh! What's wrong, sir? Does me have to do it all over again? Why are you glaring at me like I'm next to be hit by a bolt of lightning? I just about had it with this Harlequin. I really want to drag the truth out of him. I'll just have to drag him to the witness stand. Oh boy. But wait, there's more. Okay. It's time for the trial. February 9th, 9:47 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 1. Oh my. Mr. Loris feels that way about me? Apparently. He isn't aware of your real secret at all. There's no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I'll drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Loris is the witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Donham, correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well then. Mr. Edgeworth? Well, I believe it was her. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed, don't worry. I made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris. It is the prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth. I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. 7 a.m. Horror room number 7. Court is now. Hold on. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Feels weird saying, considering plain as Edgeworth. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean... What? What? That the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. Oh, hey, that was easy. Score finds the defendant. Oh, God! Oh, boy! Oh, shit. The prosecution stands ready. And you are... Francisca von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. The Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma? Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma. That is all. Well, a special request. I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case. You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, huh? Either way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. Oh boy. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss Von Karma, do you have anything to say? There's no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't, but I'm sure it was before in this corner. Ah! I told you, there's no such weakling. What is that? A whip? I'm not trying to give us such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip. That's the first time I've heard that. I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. There's still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting. Miles Edgeworth. I'd expected to face Phoenix right here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth! I will not allow this chance to crush you. I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. I see you brought your flair for this histrionic. Allow me to add the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. Ah! The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma. Please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Donham. Body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. The courtyard where Elise Donham was murdered. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Oh my god, is... Okay, yeah, okay, just looking at that alone, it just proves that just everything was mirrored. Uh, okay, so for once, the first witness is not Gumshoe. Witness, state your name and occupation. Please. Hold on here. I'm not sure about being... Not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defense lobby for a back pain-plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. There we go. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me. Well, I'm the head nun of Osgood Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it, Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. Yeah, that'll be my same reaction, I would have to admit. Bro looks like a monkey. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Ah! The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. Well then. In any case. Witness, I heard that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own move. Tell us a boot. Is that a typo? I think it is. Your own movements that night, huh? The night of the murder. That night, I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back leg stacked up violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte, and returned to Osgood Temple. There's no bath in the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. It was after I had finished, just after I was heading back. That's when I saw it! So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Osgood Temple. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle. How are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. There is indeed only one problem with this testimony. I can clearly point out what it is, and I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. Hey, Mama, what's up? How have you been? Alright, what is this in your temple? Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking you the questions, madame. In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. How exactly do you help with this process? It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed by an unsupervising. Like a tutor, watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. Cool. Alright, cool. That is the case. Then why did you return to Hazagura Temple, where the murder took place? AG Sports. Alright, cool. Violently? That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. I am not doing that. On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. Almost faded once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off. So, I left ours to help the acolyte. You left ours to help. With what? What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m. So we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolyte so that they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the Inner Temple, correct? Yes, yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. There's no bath in the Inner Temple, you see, and I need a long hot soak. So you return to the Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath. My back is to blame for everything. To do or be done in kind of world after all. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? My, what a filthy little rogue you are! I know what's on your mind! Oh my god. Huh? Your next question is gonna be, where exactly did you wash? Bro, you're the one who's dirty-minded! Ah, this is why you have to watch the young ones. What are you going on about? Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. Lowest of the low. Oh my god. Is there some sort of kick me sign stuck to the defense's bench? Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand, so... The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winning hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There's no complicated setup in this case. That certainly seems to be true. You left Iris? Look, hold on. You were helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple. Wrong! Wrong. She was in her room. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry, I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of prosecutor temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No. She said that? Oh boy. A defendant or a witness. It was more likely to lie to you, suppose. The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Prosecutor Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple make for a much better alibi. That is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She doesn't indeed have honest eyes. Ah! All people lie. That is my belief. Yeah. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means we must call your memory into question. Dear. You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? Right. That isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Yeah, right. Then, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you'll need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. And please add your comments about a boot. And please add your comments about Iris. Is that just how we... Iris to the testimony. Let us return to the cross-examination. Nope. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met. She was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course. It is a very important piece of clothing. I'll have you know. Wait a minute. Huh, hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, is it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't ya? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the iris she saw should have been missing this very hood. Well. Oh, she's short. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Red's face every time he does it. Order! Ah! I didn't even get to finish reading that. Sister. This hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. This is quite strange. Ah! If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There's no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. Seeds of doubt. Witness. Well, I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt. You must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to your temple. Those seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. You just need a little more stimulation of our fruit. Contradictory stimulation. After my bath. finished my bath around 11 and thought I should return to the near temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and ours was Mr. Elise! And with that sword, of all things. Mr. Elise was standing in the corner room, which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, and it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seated over this very chair. He's gonna get whipped. Well, something like that. Okay, I thought he was gonna get whipped. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look a fool if I commented on such foolishness. Haven't heard that in a while, have you now? Anyway, this case is mine. Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours? Doesn't feel like she is lying. It's very powerful testimony, too. Claims to have seen the incident in which the defense stabbed the victim. What two things I believe in right now? Client artist and my own abilities as a defense attorney. How far is it from your room to your temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. About 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge. From Hazuka to Temple. Your temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was taking along the walkway toward the main hall. And now walking back, heard a noise. Say you heard a noise. Thump. Just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump. Just like that. But then, couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. Oh, I judge. Ah! The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and... This is the second time that the witnesses testified to seeing a defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the rights to... The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to call exactly who it was you saw. As clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there's something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood! Her hood? That's right! It's coming back to me. Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood. Thought something was out of place, but all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? Huh. You dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? It's not important. Side questing is only going to tear the wound open further. These statements are as useless as the investigations of a certain detective. There's no need to record them. That's loud. Very well. Please continue with your testimony. Um, okay, if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna play another song. Because this is taking quite a while.
楽したい遊びたい手当たり次第全部由来最後の願いいつもそう言ってないものねだり仕方ないよねハイテク世界いつも頼って最後間違い直さなきゃ
Alright, enough of that. No more wasting time. Okay. After she was pushed out of her window? Really? Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say anyway. Oh, please do! My brain is something else. Especially in winter. However, I think you're overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. Ugh. That's right. It says after death right here. 10 feet after death. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. The defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard. How did the victim go on to take a 10-foot fall? Ah! Order! Order! The victim was killed and then fell. That is the case. Then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. She was then thrown out of her window down into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Dunham's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? Ah! No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found in my glorious playoff beard. Oh boy. However, there was no blood in the room. You're gonna claim that. Ah! I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this. As I'm sure your honor is well aware, of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood? Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood will be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That's true. The weapon's still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. Perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion that The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all the contradictions. Order, order, order! Oh, I must admit, this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from my Francisca von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clear testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please! Remain standing on the crate! Don't go selling me short now. I hate this. This girl. The way to win snow has bent me out of shape. Especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here. With the whip. Lol. Oh boy. Alright, alright. Further details. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mr. Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? When I awoke, Mr. Gamey was stabbing Mr. Elise through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Francisca Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that. Further details. There's too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use this Shichishito from the Amy statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I'll begin to find the truth. At that time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. So I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood. Not then. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? Think about it now. Think carefully. This is very important. It's Iris we are talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No. I looked over. sword was already in Mystic Elise's body. It might not be conclusive, but this might suppose her theory. The victim was stabbed in a room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it is splattered on the iris too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was nearly folded in the corner. Oh, what? Clothes were blood-flecked as well? It seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? Go back to your previous statement. You said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, say you saw the victim bleeding? Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day. Oh boy. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out. Witness, you will add the statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important? Yes. More important than you can imagine. The only thing I can think of. Nope. No. How about we just press it? Smoothly, you say? Saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out? That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Amy. Mystic Elise was on the ground, and Iris was stooped over her. Sword was buried up to the hilt. Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. Slid out from that gaping wound. Goes without saying, but if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding. Nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? Can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appears to have happened. Oh my god. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least, I like to think so. There are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. You are, but you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both these are completely impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain it. Explain yourself! To start with, you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble? I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make him weep. Should I so choose? What a sadist. The objection stands! I left a little back there, I must admit. Bro. This is the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body, up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. Certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with Shishishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There's still one more. Conclusive contradiction. You still got more? This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip of it? Huh? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No! Order, order! Ah, bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know can maybe manage one, if that. But what does this all mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but haven't come this far. There can only be one answer. And that is... the weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shishishito. What? A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. If I had a nickel for every time she said fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon? Well... it's because Mr. Kami was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shishishito was the murder weapon. Order, order, order! Ah! So maybe the Shishishito was not the murder weapon? Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. Sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question. Yes. Namely, Charlie. Charlie, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Um, her. Her. It goes without saying to the police, and we're Edgeworth. Yes, we are Edgeworth. It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. Thank for the hydrate. Sword-like object was found. That's... Answer the question, Miss Von Karma! And you never go to bed early. Huh. Oh, I see. No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A child without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me. Did I say something? I just remembered something. Oh, okay, good night, Ren. Well, thanks for showing up. I just remembered something, actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking... It's possible. This maybe what actually happened was... It was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. What? Oh god. Well then. Think we need to hear the testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Location of the weapon. I saw the murder at around 11 p.m. After asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks. Tracks that indicated the snowmobile had been used. Takes 15 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon in the Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, not in the best of shape. Well, I'm back in age, you know. Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph. A snowmobile, I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. Tracks begin in front of the Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge. Standing there from main gate. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did you really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. No mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there's surely a problem with his testimony. All I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Alright. You're sure about the time? Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially at this time of year. The acolyte was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple. Her estimation of the time seems reliable at least. Please continue, sister. I need to get a new chair, okay. You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct? Right. The one who trampled me. Seems she was the type to hold a grudge. There was no phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge. Phoenix Wright. He didn't even have his cell phone on him. He had forgotten it at home. Apparently. What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand too. Anyway, I was really scared. It was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one we have. No matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So you had already gone. Discard the murder weapon and return by that time. Not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Motherfucker. Press further. I need answers to every possible doubt. Snowmobile in question. Was it still warm at that time? Huh? Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, huh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. This is dumb. Goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then it means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Hey, you did too, Von Karma. Then please answer the question. Witness? I don't often go around touching hot engines. Huh. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it? Curses! Seems highly likely that the killer did use a snowmobile then, huh? How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? I meant this photograph proves something. Proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. He finally accepted the inevitable, it seems. Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, why is there only one set of tracks? There's supposed to be two? What do you mean? Iris left Husker Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. You are forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. Huh? On the night of the murder, it was snowing. Tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped. Leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Start flaunting her theory. This idea that the snowfall covered one set of tracks. There is a contradiction. Tracks through the river were covered by snow. Ah, what a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a rude index finger currently pointing in my general direction? Bro. No need. The evidence will do all the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow. Or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, yeah? Outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Oh, yes, the weather report, the weather data. Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime. Like I said, it was around 11. Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. It is the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder. The weather report? Snow started to fall at 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50. Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., snow had already stopped falling. It is impossible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up. Ah! Oh, order! Very well done. Looks like Mrs. Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. I had to, I'm sorry. Ah! Oh, it's too soon to be closing this trial due to the snow. Miles Edgeworth, How pathetic of you to rely on the weather of all things! Answer me this then. When is a weather report ever correct? No, you got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is actual data. No! Forecast data. All weather reports have some inaccuracies. May still have been snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m. That's true. We cannot be totally sure. What? How did she pull that off? That stops knowing a house of temple when the murder took place. You provide conclusive evidence of this. Come this far. There's no turn back now. Very well. I too cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Huh. Can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth. Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that it already stopped snowing when the victim was killed? The crime photo? Yep. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right. But proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Donham. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the old river to dispose of the murder weapon, and in this photograph, there should be two sets of tracks! Ah! Order! Order! Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave Prosecutor Temple. From the tracks left, it could be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Prosecutor Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in a room after the murder. Which can only mean that night. Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right. But what's odd is when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge. You must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe. But when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too. That is impossible! Order, order, order in the court! What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used a snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. Oh, I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I have nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. Only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out, walking perhaps, near Dusky Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor. Actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us. Really? You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not. But there are two things about him that do come to mind. Which are... First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder. And the second being... this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he's our kind of idiot. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about? Larry Butts. This guy must be a product of Jean-Luc de Leduc's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. Bro. This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Donham. Her student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris. But it may cost us his credibility as a witness. Before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man. What exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him, right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately! I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry. Rachel! Edgeworth. Von Karma. Angel. You may have escaped me yesterday. But today I'm gonna get everything out of you. The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see to prepare the next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, didn't I? Her. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. And, oh, did you? "1:15 a.m. Defend lobby number 1. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not really sure what to say." Cool. Alright, cool. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are 2 things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or his sister Bikini is lying. You do know you're a sub, right? You can use this. Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in the Zakura temple. Very well. Second thing then. What does sister look like? Okay, to be fair, she kinda does. Kind of, quite a bit. The second thing then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall, and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you! But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. And the psycho locks. And there's 5! Iris! I can't tell you about that yet. Yet? Not until her safety is confirmed. Her? The safety of the Acolyte. The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Yes, 5. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Donham? No matter who or what may come, I can never take a life. Yeah, right. As I thought. No psycholocks. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Over 6 a.m., court number 7. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic vase and a vicious whip. I wonder who that might be. I can only presume that his intention was Ah! Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Laurie Stoneham! I hope you're ready. Get in here! It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Oh boy, indeed. Larry! Ow! Why would you? Bro! Your sketches didn't get sent to this court! Hey, how was this? Trying to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm just the best fledgling artist trained out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color Viridian City. She is so big, Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah. Seems as if. Larry, this isn't an art store. Now, is it? Now is it? I know! I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume you want to say field work. I hope. That's it. Thanks, buddy. It's kind of sad that I was able to understand this mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I got nothing to do with this trial. At all. I expect all your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. Or, to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Oh boy. There's a pretty good band name. Oh, Jesus. Oh my God, Jesus. Stop your... Oh, man, I thought we were going to have a repeat of Justice for All right there, Jesus. Stop your pathetic babbling and testify like a man! Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness! That was all your fault. Testify now! Oh, this is so miserable. Why does the painter remind Bob Ross, of course. Bob Ross, except he himself was the happy little accident. I was at that lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. You're what? I'm all alone now. Aren't I? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody. I'm a small, worthless man, aren't I? As they put Bob Ross in this? Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, that would be quite some... yeah. Mhm. Alright. Why was I asked for my name and occupation? Or anything else? Sorry for a delay. Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he's been to other people. Oh, shit. That's right! I'm behind everything, every case! Watch out, okay? Just touch me will make you eternally unhappy. Touch. Touch. I touch my screen. Well, then let us proceed with the cross-examination with no touching. That sounds a bit. That sounds a bit. Thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. Irish judge again. I don't know how to do a proper Irish accent. I don't. I do not. It seems that he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep things moving along. Okay, the only thing I'm thinking is, no, you were waiting for her. And I was wrong. No, don't save. Bro. Come on. Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic. And you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you've been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Gee, are you trying to console me? Bro. It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. You're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let's talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts! That's right, me, in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents, oh boy. That reality will not change! What do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about this one issue, is all I need from you. Edgy. I think I've finally woken up. Really? Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? What I saw part 2. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30. I was lying there in my bedding. The white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window. Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. Totally burnt out. Like, almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry, it's nothing life-threatening. He just got a cold. This bridge has been known to kill, but all he gets is a cold? Oh then. I never know what that meant, if she'd be called unlucky, lucky, or unlucky. Now, Mr. Answorth, please commence your cross-examination. What's I saw? I went to the shack around 9. Tell me about the burning bridge yesterday. But there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth. I'm not so confident. Oh. Oh, man. And, no, I thought that was... I don't know. I didn't read this right. Yes. Still some. You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire in around 5 minutes. I mean, I suddenly thought, oh god, go check this out. As far as the small shack you were in from the bridge. Hold on. Well, that pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk. And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I'd recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press him for a little more info? Why didn't you call anyone? Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Oh well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Huh? Yeah, okay, my reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge, and Nick showed up less than a minute later. Hold on. Right. Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. Oh my god, oh man, Larry is just a punching bag. What the hey, Edgy? You make me sound like some sort of alien. Your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Uh, how the hell am I supposed to solve that? That's Roberto's. This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what happened. Is this correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, more or less. I have a lot of data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. Say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge. I mean, you probably got there at around 11 p.m. That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazukuta Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There's no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Excuse me. I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Laurie's daughter. It's not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. What a pointless objection, Larry. It's not been proven that a murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said, around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. Slope ahead is slippery. But there's still no way the ride could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means... what, exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until... after the flames had died down! Larry! You arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m. But Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got really woken up by Toland's flashback. I guess I was still sleeping after all. Pinch me. Order, order, order. Oh my god, Jesus. So, there was a missing 15 minutes prior to me and Mr. Phoenix, right? I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes, and there's a phone right next to it. Why then, did you not report the accident? Yes, witness. Why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burned out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. But this is Larry we were talking about. Maybe he isn't capable of being so stupid. Oh. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time. Listen. I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say it this time. And say it. Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this. However, let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? I'm Adonam. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching! For the bridge! I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, flames had gone out, and then he came running up. Bro. I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right! I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Yeah, right. Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. You'll regret this, Edgy. The missing 15. There's a big clue waiting for me in this cross-examination. This testimony does nothing less than mock the court. But I am sure that there's a vital kernel of truth hidden in it somewhere. So, sketching! Burning bridge! The burning bridge and everything that came with it! What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. Sketch of mine. Ah! Enough. Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? Got a terrible feeling that the instant the sketch was revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. Look at the sketch. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch. Please. Well, even I couldn't have imagined it turn out like this. Imagine what? Laurie's Donham's debut would take place here today. Like this. Now, just show it now. Okay. But steel yourselves. This is the world of Laurie's Donham. Hold up, I see some dude. Ah. Well. So this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Garma? Yes. Well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. Oh, I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. This is gonna get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry. What? The brain bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate looking figure? Oh, you spotted that? Oh, I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it. I can't. It's Iris, of course! Iris! I wish she'd take better care of herself. We have to plan for our future, you know. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? Larry, please, answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I am an artist. A real artist. Are you? Hi! Bro! Bro! Oh my god. Why? Oh my god, that was... Girl, she's really high up in this picture. Jesus Christ. Ah, what was that? Okay, immediately. What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Why didn't you use the whip on yourself? That would have worked. Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. That's what I'm saying! Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there's some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness. Miles Edgeworth. Let's get back to the cross-examination. By force, if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what did you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me! Oh boy. Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. Oh jeez. No, hurry up and cross-examine him! I am a donim! Really? Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 if that's the truth. If that is truly the case, then there's one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That a person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. Ah! A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry, according to this picture. The individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood. Correct? Of course he was! That rundown shack is quite a way from a bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. That's not me. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Ah! It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why didn't Nick have Iris' hood? What? Actually, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you Nick, you dog? Bro, it's not like that. Yeah, very much so, crybaby. I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited, and discarded straight into this garbage. Ah! What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy! Today's the day I get to completely stupefy you! What? What's the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence. Definitive evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge. And I, Laurie Stoneham, if that even is my name, shall prove it! I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in the sketch. And show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy. Because I'm gonna feed you a whopping serving of pain! I just hit my mic, sorry. You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time, trust me. He has. Proof that Iris flew. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frankly searched all over for her. That lets me find a beautiful crystal sphere, not buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was so simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. A crystal sphere? Yeah, this one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere. Where'd you find it? Let me see. Around here somewhere? That looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. That pretty much stopped snowing by then. There was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. Go and accept this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. There's something on it. Huh? Oh my! There's blood! What? Blood? Found half covered in snow near Dusky Bridge and at the crime has blood on it. Crystal sphere. You ready, Eddie? Tomorrow morning you'll be calling me Master Larry. Oh, you just called yourself Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Larry's Donham only a few minutes ago? That's what I'm saying. Only a few minutes ago. Proof that Iris flew. I reached Dusky Bridge. She was already gone. This is taking quite a while. Ain't there just one? No. The case isn't going to end without a fight. Supposing the obvious contradictions in this testimony will be easy, but I fear that all awaits us are further mysteries. You were painting. I was wrong again. Nope. Okay, either it's one or the other. Yep. Larry. That night, there was someone who lost the crystal sphere. There was? Who? Who was the stupid idiot? Miss Elise Donut. The mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar look in the crystal sphere. Hey! It's my photograph! Give it back! Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. They look nothing alike! Exactly what I was thinking. Excuse me. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime. Ah! The crystal sphere! It's gone! What? 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 Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped, flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew, dropped the sphere, was the victim, Mr. Lee's dotem. A fool alongside another fool. All fools errand to reach a fool's conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus is rejected. You can't do that! I saw it! Well, this crystal sphere. This is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. At least Dunham was in a room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, the sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all. Miss Francisca von Karma. The only people who accept that explanation. We scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Do you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case? That crystal sphere. It's probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There's blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. Excuse me. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch! What? You mean I'm the killer? No, wow! All joking aside. Bro. Just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? I really need to stop rhyming like Dr. Seuss. Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There's no evidence that at least Dunham left Hazuko to temple that night. However, if some of its crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it's not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Yes, I can. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. Simply prove it. It's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You will do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise. Because right now I am Phoenix Wright. And I am indeed cornered. I ordered you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. This crystal sphere. It was half buried in the snow. It was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I need to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. Oh, what? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ah! Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder! What? Order! 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 On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge, and there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What could that have been? This sphere, there is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. Wait, there is blood on it. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool? And which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying attention? Any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. That's not exactly true now, is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was a murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! Now you pound the desk again. No, it isn't! No. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood will be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding. You are forgetting one final thing, Miles Edgeworth. At least Dono's body was found at Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? I made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is also perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple. Yep. On that snowy night, there was one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. Oh. As we all know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could have also been used to carry a body. Order! 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 Oh, yeah! This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You dug yourself in your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? Huh. You're too late, Francisca Von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim, at least Donham, really killed? Her body was moved. Whatever for. And finally... just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. Oh god. However, He would never utter a lie like a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point. Edgy! Thank you! That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Franziska von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason, and one alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case. And then pass it on to Rife. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had friends. Miles Edgeworth. And she never lets me finish reading, does she now? I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame, Francie! This is all your fault! Such a terrible witness. You are the front to all the oh jeez, oh jeez, oh jeez, I demand satisfaction. Oh boy, oh boy, oh jeez, and he's dead. He's gone. He's dead. He is dead. And just like that, we've had a repeat of Justice for All. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom. Those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you. Right. Court is now adjourned. Well, I guess at this point, it's good enough, right? All right, Anna needs to buy a new chair. Yeah, we're done. We're done. We're finding someone to raid right now. So, mm, no, I'm thinking. All right, well, just real quick. We're gonna raid him. Hold on, I'll be back in like 30 seconds, okay? Okay. All right. I know who we're gonna raid. Now, we're gonna raid Vermilion Corgi. He's currently playing LS Trials at the moment. So I guess with that, we are pretty much done. Yeah. Yep. Well, with that, I'll be back next week. So, yeah, you won't see me until then. I guess that is it. I don't know anymore. Well, I guess thanks for hanging out. And a big cheers to you for watching. Well, good night. There'll be many more calisthenics. Larry is dead. Age 25. Anyways. Mwah.